Hi, welcome back to another video. My name is Larie, and in my last video I said next I'm going to plug this machine up and I'm going to see how it sews. I'm going to let you hear how it runs, try a few stitches as well. So today I am going to show you how this Baby Lock Zest runs. You'll get to see what it sounds like. I am going to show you a few of the stitches and the features as I make this sock right here, and we'll get to take a look at this machine together. So with that, let's get started with setting up the sewing machine. I'm going to start using this just by kind of following the instructions that were given about oiling and letting the oil pass through the machine so that it doesn't get on your thread and your fabric. And I'll just go ahead and run it for about a minute or so. I can tell you guys already, this thing smells like hot motor oil. I'll keep going. Oh yeah, that's a smell. It's not strong and overpowering, but you can smell it. Okay, I did that. I let the oil run. And now I'm going to, since this thing is not set up and the bobbin is empty, I'm gonna go ahead and thread the bobbin. So inside of here, the arm extension, it is functional. It will hold all of your supplies. I'm gonna go ahead and take one of these. I'm gonna put it on top of the bobbin winder, and I'm gonna move that to the left. Okay, so unlike other machines, moving this to the right does not deactivate the needle. It doesn't deactivate the needle. You have to do something else. So I'm gonna use this white thread and I'm gonna just put it on here just like any other machine. And now here's the next step that you have to do in order to wind your bobbin and deactivate the needle. You have to pull out the hand wheel. All right, so I have my thread through the bobbin tension, and I have my thread also wound around the bobbin a few times. It's the same process as any other sewing machine. And I'm just gonna hold on to this while this gets going. Okay, that's good for today. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take out the bobbin case by lowering this, and I'm going to lift this lever right here and pull it out. I have my bobbin case, I have my bobbin, my thread is unwinding to the right because this is a top loading bobbin, and I'm gonna place my bobbin inside. Hold on to all this, don't let it unwind. Bring it through the notch, just there. Okay, now bring it around this metal kind of covering here, this sleeve, bring it around and down through here. Just keep on sliding it through. So just hold on to it and pull. Hear that click? And it should just make its way in there. So now that that's done, I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna hold on to this little lever. Don't let it go, hold on to it. And I'm gonna make sure this arm is facing up. I'm gonna keep holding on to this lever. This is my grip here. And I'm gonna put the bobbin on the pin, and you will notice that there is this little indent right here, this little notch. This arm needs to fit inside of that notch. So while I'm still holding on to this lever, I'm just gonna turn this until it sinks in there and it just fits. And now I can let go. Okay, you're gonna pull up this bobbin thread just like any other. Once you've threaded one sewing machine, you pretty much have threaded most of them because the steps are pretty much the same. So I'm gonna go through this hook. I'm gonna go down around the tension dial or tension wheel in this case, bring my thread up, roll up my take-up, oh, that's nice and high. Roll up my take-up lever. I can see it nice and clearly, and I'm gonna make sure my thread goes into that hook, just like that. And I'm gonna thread this from front to back just like that. And I'm gonna pull this up. If I've gone too fast for you and you're like, oh my goodness, Luri, I can't keep up, you threaded that so fast, how do I take it up? I have a whole series on beginner sewing, just when you're learning to sew and thread your machine. I have a whole series on threading a sewing machine and pulling the bobbin thread up. So you can always take a look at that and see it slowed down and very detailed. One of the features that I was really excited about is the built-in pivot assistance. So let's try out this feature. It only works, so it says with the 5/8 inch mark. So I'm going to start here right at the edge of my fabric, go forward a little bit, back stitch, really press down on that back stitch button. I'm going to keep going. This is nice, you guys. This really is. So now I'm gonna keep my eyes out. I'm gonna look for this little mark down here. This little mark right there. That is where I want the edge of this fabric to stop. And that's where I'm gonna pivot. Nice. That, when I did it right, that really works. Okay, I like it, I like it. Oh, beautiful. Look how that corner just turns out. And look at those stitches. Look how nice they are. So right now my tension is on 4. My stitch length is on 2. Let's try making that stitch length larger. I'm gonna leave the tension where it is. That's a good average tension. And then let's try this again. Let's see, I'm just gonna make some straight parallel lines. Okay, and I'll go ahead and take this off. I thought I would pivot that, but I won't do that. Let's make some more lines, hey? Let's turn this all the way up to the basting stitch. I really like how this machine runs. Okay. Let's see. This is stitch length 2, stitch length 3, stitch length 4. They all look great. The tension looks great. This is the bobbin side. This is the upper thread side. It all looks great. Next, I'm going to show you some of these stitches down here. I'm going to demo some of the stretch stitches, and I'm going to do that with a pair of socks that's been in my whip pile for a long time, too long. So in order to give this machine the best possible advantage for sewing this knit fabric, I am going to use my last fresh ballpoint needle. So the stretch stitch that I'm going to use is going to be, let's see, I would prefer to use the knit stitch, and this tells you all the settings that you should put this machine on so you do not have to guess. So first of all, this is stitch G. Let's find G. There we go. Next, it says to put it on the stretch settings, okay. Of course, there we go. And now it says the pattern selector is G, the presser foot is the zigzag foot, which is the regular foot. The tension dial is between 1 and 4, and it's actually pointing to 3. So let me change this to 3. Okay. And this stitch is stretch. So that's great. It says, this knit stitch is ideal for sewing swimwear and stretch velour because it provides the greatest amount of elasticity and strength. So place your fabric to allow 5/8 inch seam allowance. Trim excess close to the stitching. Be careful not to cut the stitches. Well, this is gonna make my socks too small for sure because I definitely did not give it 5/8 inch seam allowance. For the sake of this demo, I'm gonna sew it at 5/8 like it says. Here we go. This is at the 5/8 inch line right there. I'm gonna put my needle down. Everything is set up and let's go. So the machine takes the fabric in like this back and forth motion. This isn't gonna sew very fast, so you gotta just let it do its thing and be patient. You really need to be patient. Don't push it to make it go further. Just let it go slow because it's sewing in like this back and forth kind of a motion. I'm gonna make this stitch a bit closer together, especially since I'm sewing around the heel. Nice. And there it is. So this is a smaller stitch. I'm gonna make this stitch even smaller when I sew around the toe. And you can see the stitch is a bit wider up here. Wow. Oh my goodness, look at that. My hand is like, so I told you guys, this is definitely, with all the seam allowance that I took away, definitely gonna be too small. But look at that. Look at that stitch quality. That is amazing. That is very strong indeed. I love it. And I stitched in white and you can barely see that. I did that on purpose so you guys can see my stitching. But I stitched in white and you can barely see that coming through the orange knit. Yes, indeed. I like that stitch. So if you don't have a serger, you want to sew knits and things, wow. That's it right there. That's nice. This is the way to go. So there it is. That is the Baby Lock Zest. I have to tell you guys, this is the first Baby Lock sewing machine that I have sewn on, and I like it. I do. I like this machine. As with any other type of machinery or just something new that you're doing, you have to get used to it. You have to get your rhythm with it. And just in those few stitches, I haven't sewn very much on it yet. But I can tell that I need to get my rhythm and the rhythm of the machine, I need to get that in sync. And I think that it is just, I'm really excited about this machine and what it could do. I'm excited about the stretch stitches and how they make just such a nice stitch. Just so nice, so nice. But anyway, I will be talking about this machine more and giving you more details, more information about it, and just getting all in to this machine. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you are new to sewing or if this is going to be your very first sewing machine purchase, I have an entire beginner sewing playlist that you can check out right here on YouTube. That's going to help you get the basics down. You can use it to practice with, watch the videos again. They're very detailed and go at a pace that I'm sure will help you to understand and get these techniques down. I just want to encourage you before I leave. There are so many things right now going on that can give us all legitimate reasons to have stress. legitimate reasons to worry or legitimate reasons to be anxious or even depressed or down. And while I'm so thankful that I have sewing and you also have sewing to help us get through those tough times, I want to let you know that when everything all around us on the outside is probably turned upside down, we can have peace on the inside. So I want to leave you with that. I want to leave you with peace. All right, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hope to sew with you soon. Bye.